All right, good morning, everybody. It is 8:24 on the 20th of November 2019, and we have broken our extension trend here in the S&P 500. I just want to get a quick sound check. I haven't broadcasted in a while. Make sure you guys can hear me. So feel free to type in the chat on YouTube. All right. So we had Vix rollover in the overnight session. So I'm going to pull that up here. You can see there's this massive gap in the VIX, and this is important. So it's VXZ19. The VXZ19 is the December contract, okay? And we have broken trend in the VIX as well as broken trend in the S&P 500. There was extension sequences here in the VIX, and that is from the low of Monday the 4th, November 4th to low. We traded those and completed profit target. If you go back, I'm going to go to the continuous contract, which is just /VX. That November 4th to low traded on Monday, or traded on Friday, and completed here into Tuesday. All right, so we have now broken through and completed, and now we have rolled over into the December contract. At the same time, for the S&P 500, we have broken in a series of extensions. So I'm going to go out here to the daily. We had a very clean series of extensions here in the S&P 500. It was extension to extension. Last week, we spent 7 days consolidating inside of the extension from the 1st of November to high. I'm sorry, it was from the 30th of October to high. We went straight sideways here and then completed our profit targets on the 15th. That high from the 7th to high started trading this week. We have now broken it in the overnight session. So just look at it like this. We have extension to completion. We run into the -23. We run into the -61. We go extension to extension. Monday, that extension trades. We failed to hit our profit targets. In fact, we actually had a traditional sequence from the low of Monday to high that traded its -61 in the overnight session. And then from that Monday high to high, we needed to hold this to continue up into that higher profit target at 31.35. That broke. When that broke, there was a possibility of a short setup, so a full 50% retracement short. That short set up into close. It dipped into its 61.8, held the 50%. You can see here it's completed. But now we have broken the higher time frame, the daily sequence at 31.0875. We pierced it overnight, but now we've had really a full break. What we're going to want to look for is a full 50% retracement short here in the S&P 500. That exists at 31.18 quarter. 31.18 quarter. That 50% retracement short is going to line up with the VIX. So you need to have VXZ19, and you're going to be looking for a full halfway back long in the VIX December contract, okay, at 1513. Right here, when the ES trades, let me just squeeze this in a bit. When the ES trades, it's full 50% retracement short. You're going to want to see the VIX December contract trading the full 50% retracement long. So that is really important here, guys, because we do have a trend change in the indexes. In fact, the Dow itself, here, let's move on to the Dow. We're looking at an hourly chart of the Dow. The high, so we had the extension from the high of the 30th of October to high that traded its 50% retracement on the 11th we completed profit targets on Friday. We went through those profit targets. We then began new extensions from the 7th of November. Those high to highs traded a 38% retracement, just came shy, like, what is that, seven ticks of its profit target, and has broken down. We now need to be looking at the full 50% retracement short in the Dow, the full 50% retracement short in the Dow, in respecting that level. That level is 27,949 for a full halfway back short. Okay, so that is a level I'm interested in looking short. We don't know how far these pullbacks are going to go now that we've broken trend, but I am going to assume we are at least going to trade into the prior extension. We are going to at least trade in the prior extension, and that would be this 50% here in the Dow at 27,681 lines up with the short target. So I'm looking for a rally first up into 27,945 and then a sell-off down to 27,681. So it's almost 300 points. All right, that's almost a 300-point sell-off that I'm anticipating. Moving on to the Nasdaq. Now, the Nasdaq here is not technically broken its trend like the other markets have, but I also want to point out that on the daily chart, I'm going to get rid of this volume, make my chart a little more clear. We have completed some bigger moves. So there was a full 50% retracement in the Nasdaq for the year. Okay, so that is the low of 2019 to, at the time, the high was the 25th of April. We traded that 50% retracement at 7,007. That profit target has been hit. That's why we're seeing this consolidation. That profit target has been hit in the Nasdaq. There's a possibility that we come somewhere in the future down to the 78, 79 high to high. There's a possibility that this extension ends up being a major level of support, and that 50% retracement, and it would be totally normal for us to get down here, especially once we roll over into the December contract for the index futures. This 81,029 is going to be a huge level if you guys can be patient for it. All right, want to mark that up. You can also see that lines up with this 4-day consolidation that we broke out of. So it's a really nice previous high. I really like that level coming into the daily chart. The Nasdaq here is still holding a traditional sequence from the 81.16 quarter to high. So I'm not as interested in the short sequence for the Nasdaq until we break below 81.73. I'd still like to see the Nasdaq break below 81.73. The Nasdaq is holding its up sequence that I have right now. All right, so I'm looking more at the Dow and the S&P. For oil, guys, we have a full 50% retracement down here that has not traded. It's 54.58. Because we have not traded that 50% retracement long, there's a possibility we short squeeze after running all the way down here. There was a massive breakdown. You had this huge wedge breakdown yesterday. We just sold straight off. The range of the prior day was $2.05. It's the biggest range down we've seen in quite some time. We broke a next measured move. So it was the low from the 31st to high. That broke yesterday. And therefore, we can set up in the full 50% retracement short. This level lines up with the level we broke down from. 56.51, guys, is a major halfway back short for oil. Okay, 56.51. Want to be paying attention to that level. These are the most important swing levels here for the market. All right. For gold, gold is really sloppy. Gold had its full 50% retracement from the prior week's low, so Tuesday of the prior week to high. Pierced on Monday, we rallied, traded at 50%, failed to hit target. The only support that I have here is a retest of the original support, 1466.2. 1466.2. Okay? Or you can look at the original 50% retracement, 1461. So those are the two support levels here in gold. But gold right now has a failed breakout. We got above highs, we failed them, and we're coming back in. 1466, 1461 are the only levels that I have. But that's going to wrap it up for today's video. I'm going to be looking to do more of this. If you guys can, if you have a Twitter, share it. If you have a buddy that wants to see this stuff, share it. I am going to be coming back and doing some teaching in 2020. Right now, I'm just, still putting some stuff out there to keep you guys on top of the market. Thank you guys for watching. Give this video a thumbs up, and I'll catch you guys on my next video. Take care.